Hi everyone and welcome back, and if you're new here, I am Prakriti and in today's video I am going to try all the popular Swiss Beauty products. So first of all, I am going to tell you how I bought the products. So what I did was I just searched Swiss Beauty products on nykaa, and then I went to sort by, and then I changed it from relevance to customers top rated, and then I made sure that I buy most of the top rated products because basically those are the most popular products. If you want to know my thoughts on all of these products that I have and also want to see how I create this look, then please keep on watching. I've done my eyebrows because Swiss Beauty has just one eyebrow pencil, and that too is a very normal eyebrow pencil, you guys. I'm gonna throw a picture over here. I was not able to buy it because it was out of stock. So yes, I've already done my eyebrows, and now let's move to the base. And for the base, I am going to try their concealer first because if you have seen my last video, I bought the wrong shade, so I just want to apply it and see how it looks. Their concealer has got 6 shades, and the shade that I bought is 06 Clairvoyant, I think that's how it's pronounced. Now that I've swatched it, I can see it's not that terrible. This is almost neutral but more on the red side. But after swatching it, I feel that it will look good on my skin. So yes, I'm just going to try it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the least amount because I do not know the coverage of this thing. They have mentioned that this hides blemishes for a flawless skin and also imperfections, and this offers buildable coverage. Also, this has a demi-matte finish. Now let's see what kind of coverage this gives us. I'm just going to apply a little bit first. So I'm just going to place it here. I have to say that it's quite thick, you guys. And then here. So first I am going to use my preferred technique, that is using a beauty sponge, and I'm just gonna press it into my skin. By the way, I have already primed and moisturized my skin. I think this is a pretty good concealer, you guys. It looks really nice, and plus it's very blendable. It has actually covered my dark circles completely. Although I do not have the most horrible dark circles in the world, they actually look more like dark circles because I have very deep set eyes. I actually thought that I got wrong shade just because I looked at this package. It's white, so yes, that's why I thought that I got the wrong shade, but it's actually my shade, you can see. So I'm sorry for that, but I have the right shade. This concealer obviously has got some scent to it. I can smell something. I cannot figure out what it smells like, but it does have a fragrance. And now I'm just going to use my PAC 218 concealer brush to blend it out. The brush is actually a little bit wet because I washed all of my brushes yesterday and now I am filming, so it's a little bit wet. Alright, so I have to say that it blends easily with a beauty blender than with a brush. Also, you need the tiniest amount with this because I just applied boop and then I blended and it has covered everything. Now that we have it under our eyes, I'm also going to apply it around my mouth. I like applying a generous amount around my mouth because this is the hyperpigmented area and I just want to conceal it properly. I'm just gonna go ahead and pack it in. The coverage is absolutely gorgeous. It's so good. It's covering everything. My face looks really uneven. My forehead is some different color and the rest of my face is a different color, but once I apply foundation, it will all even out. For foundation, I do not have a Swiss Beauty foundation, so I am going to use my Maybelline Superstay 24-hour full coverage foundation. They didn't have my shade, so that's why I was not able to buy a foundation. Now the foundation is in place and actually I look like a metal, so let's go ahead and set this in place. And for setting this in place, I'm going to use the Swiss Beauty Prime and Set Primer and Mattifying Setting Powder. It's actually quite small. I thought that it will be a big powder, and plus it makes this sound. This looks like a micro makeup applicator. It's that small, you guys. I'm definitely going to use my sponge for this. Why is the powder all over the place? My under eyes already have a little bit. Alright, it's raining now. So this is how the powder looks. It looks almost white, and now I'm just going to dip my sponge into it and then I'm going to apply it on my under eyes. The thing is that not a lot of powder is sticking to the sponge, which is actually a good thing for me because I don't like baking, so I do not pack powder on my face. One thing that I have to say is that this did blur out my skin instantly. I do look kind of washed out right now because this powder is completely white. That's why I prefer tinted powder. But that's okay. I think we'll bronze the face and it will just fix all of this. Now we're going to use the Swiss Beauty Brick highlighter, and I'm using this highlighter brush from Wet n Wild. This is the P77 brush. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to swirl my brush once. It's a very subtle highlighter, you guys. Like, you can barely see the glow, but I think I'm gonna build it up. I did wet my brush with their setting spray, and to be honest, everything has some fragrance, you guys. Honestly, I don't like this highlighter. I won't say that you go ahead and buy it. You guys, guess what? It's raining again. So next I'm just gonna go ahead and use their makeup fixer spray with aloe vera and vitamin E. And I'm just gonna give my face a nice spritz. I have two products for the eyes. Number one is this 12 color eyeshadow palette, their quick sand eyeshadow palette. And number two is this Swiss Beauty liquid eyeshadow in 01 gold goddess. The most fascinating thing for me is this eyeshadow palette, you guys, because behold that packaging. Like, this is so good.
One eternity later.
I can play with this all day. This retails for rupees 599, which is almost 600. And it's raining again. You get a plastic inside and then you have 12 shades. Today I am going to create something olive, olive and yellow sort of look. But obviously I am going to swatch a few shades. Number one is going to be this red. This is a packed glitter kind of shade. I don't think they have shade names, but I'm just going to swatch this red. I'm just going to swatch this. Wow, this is very creamy, you guys. And then obviously I'm going to swatch the red. This is a matte red shade, so I'm just going to swatch this. And ultimately I'm going to swatch this purple. First of all, the red. Alright, so this was a glitter kind of thing, so it has to go like that. Now the matte red shade. Okay, it's pigmented but a little patchy at the same time. Now it's good. Next I'm going to swatch that bronze shimmer. Then the purple ultimately. Alright, this is good. Now I did prime my eyes with some concealer. I use the same concealer, that is the Swiss Beauty Liquid Concealer, and now I am going to do my eyeshadow. First of all, I am going to set this concealer with some of their translucent powder. Now that I have a smooth base for my eyeshadow, the first shade that I'm going to go into is this shade from here, and I'm going to use my Morphe brush from their Eye Credible set. This is a round blending brush, so I'm just going to dip my brush like this, and then I'm going to tap off the excess. Okay, I think it's pigmented and plus it's blendable, so I really like this palette. Next I am going to use this shade from here. The brush that I'm going to use is again a pointed blending brush from Morphe, and I'm just picking the shade on the tip of this brush. And then I'm just going into that outer V. So once those shades are there, let's dive into metallic shades now. And for the first shade, I think I'm going to use this from here. And I'm not going to cut my crease or whatever because this is almost the same shade. You cut your crease for a lighter shade, but this is almost the same shade. So I'm just going to go and pack it on my lid. That went on really smoothly, guys. It was very smooth. And plus, it has real good pigmentation just with the brush. So the pigmentation is also commendable, like just with the brush. I think I'm just gonna see what it gives me with my fingers. It looks quite good. But honestly, I'm going to use the brush because I get a more precise kind of application with this. Once that shade is there, I'm just picking this shade with the same brush. And I'm going to focus this on the center. This has got some fallout, but I'm not going to touch it because it's not a lot. I am going to use this liquid eyeshadow that they have, and this is in the shade 01 Gold Goddess, and this is like quite gold and very bright. So I'm just going to apply this in the very center to get that nice halo eye. But it's not doing a lot. This side looks patchy. I'm just going to swatch their liquid eyeshadow on my hands. Alright, so I have to say that this has not got a lot of pigment, not as much as I expected, because you know, it looks kind of transparent to me. And another weird thing that I noticed is that this gets washed away with water. It is a liquid eyeshadow. If it gets washed away with water, I think it will flow with sweat and it will be all over your face. So I think that their liquid eyeshadow is a little bit hyped. Now let's move to the lower lash line. I'm just gonna apply these two shades, that is this one and this one, on my lower lash line. So for my lips, I have the Swiss Beauty Matte Liquid Lipstick. The shade is Iconic Nude. I really thought that this is going to be a very neutral nude kind of color, but this is actually a very pink nude. Anyways, I am going to use this. Now I don't know whether you can see or not, but my base in this area is kind of falling apart. The Maybelline Superstay 24-Hour Foundation never does this to the area around my mouth. I mean, it looks very weird. This is a matte liquid lipstick and this retails for rupees 199. Wow, the color is opaque, you guys. The pigmentation is spot on. This obviously doesn't go with my eye, but we'll see what I can do. Seriously, this is a nude shade? I'm not ready to believe that this is a nude shade. This is straight up pink, you guys. Like pink. Now let me go through all the products one by one and let me tell you the pros and cons and whether you should buy them or not. So first of all, the concealer, it has got good coverage. It's quite blendable, but it does leave a white cast, and that was the deepest shade that I ordered. So you have to keep all of that in mind. The next thing is the setting powder. It's a complete no for me because again, white cast, it's very white. Although I think it will be good below your foundation if you have oily skin. You can use that powder for that kind of a trick. But above your foundation and above your concealer, it's not a good thing because it will give you white cast, especially if you are my skin tone or deeper. The next thing is the highlighter palette. This one, I didn't like this highlighter palette personally because I like blinding highlighters. But if you like to go For a natural look, I think this might work, but again for rupees 349 it's just not it for me. The setting spray is good, it will give you a dewy finish. I think it's a good setting spray because it did combine all the products on my face and made them look like one, and yes, it made my face look less cakey and also less ghost-like. The next product is this eyeshadow palette, and this is my favorite thing from all the things that I have tried. First of all, the packaging is really great and the shades are also not disappointing. The shades are really good. They are pigmented, and especially the mattes, they are also very pigmented. There is a little bit of fallout, but nothing that you cannot control. Since there are 12 shades available and we just used I think 4 or 5 shades, so I'm going to create more looks with this palette for sure. I have to pause this here because I forgot the liquid eyeshadow. It was not as pigmented as I thought it would be. It gets washed away with water, but on the other hand, I was able to layer it up easily. That's it. Ultimately, we have this lipstick. I like this lipstick. It's non-tacky and it's very pigmented, although it was a little bit patchy, but you know, it settles quite uniform and it's very matte. So yes, I love the lipstick. That's it for the video. This is the completed look. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, don't forget to hit that notification bell. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.